welcome to this week's episode of Don't Go Broke Trying. My name is Reni, and this is our Coinfessions episode. If you're new here, maybe you don't know what Coinfessions are. These are our coin confessions where you all submit whatever questions that you have about a topic related to money. If you want to submit, you can just use the link in my show notes, or in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. And that will give you an anonymous link that you can submit. So before we used to take emails, y'all were a little shy about that. So now you can submit anonymously, completely anonymously. Okay? So today we're going to be talking about how to not go broke trying to build your career and all things career related. And I am not alone today. I am with the fabulous Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hey, Reni.
How are you?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
I'm good. Everyone, we just wrapped up our episode before this where we talked about how to not go broke trying to build your career, and gems were dropped.
It was good.
It was good.
Pretty magical.
Like, me and Emily vibe really well. I think it was one of the best episodes yet. So
it's in my top 3.
Right? So I really think you should go back. Pause this episode right now. Go back. Listen to the previous one. And then come back and listen to this, okay? Because it was really good, and I think you'll learn a lot from it. Emily, could you introduce yourself to the people and tell us who you are?
Absolutely. My name's Emily Durham, a.k.a. Emily the Recruiter on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm a career coach and content creator. My whole thing is helping you thrive in your 9 to 5 and beyond. So think like career tips, how to show up like a boss at work, and ultimately how to make more money, which is why Reni and I are just like kind of a match made in heaven.
Literally.
We want you to make that money.
Yes, we want to get some money, honey. Okay. Yes, Emily is fabulous, as I said, and you can learn a lot more about her if you listen to the previous episode. But yeah, she is amazing.
The feeling is so mutual.
Amazing. And I'm going to link all her links in the show notes below so you can check her out on all the platforms. If you are listening, please make sure, and you're on Twitter, please make sure you use the hashtag DGBTpod and just respond to any of the takes that we have today, because it's gonna be quite interesting.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm excited because you also haven't read these.
I have not read them. They are anonymous to me. My assistant helped me find them, so I hope they're good. Okay,
they're gonna be juicy. Yeah, I feel like it's in the air.
Yeah,
it's gonna be intense.
It is. Yeah,
I just know it.
Okay, are we ready to start?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's get into it. Okay, first confession. Would I be the asshole if I told a coworker that she was underpaid without her asking me? I recently got a new job position, but at the same company that I've worked at for a while. Before I accepted the offer, I asked people who had the same position what their starting salary was and used that to successfully negotiate a higher salary. One of the people that I asked was Jane. After asking a few more people, I realized that Jane started on the lowest salary by quite a bit. She's now on the same salary as me, but after 2 to 3 years of work. Usually I would tell her, but 2 things are making me unsure. 1, she tends to be very hard on herself, and I'm worried she'll feel stupid for accepting a lower salary. Not that that's justified, but I know she'll use it to be annoyed at herself. And 2, she hasn't specifically asked, so I'm worried I'd be rocking the boat for no reason, or it would look like I was rubbing the fact in her face. Also, she's now on the correct salary, and she's unlikely to be repaid retrospectively, so maybe it won't do any good. However, if I do tell her, then maybe she can use that info at her next salary negotiation, or maybe it'll change her opinion of her supervisor and push her to find a better supervisor. So, would I be the asshole if I told a coworker that she was underpaid without her asking me?
Ooh, that one's hard.
Yeah, this one's tricky.
It's hard. Okay, I feel like I almost need to therapy talk this through with you.
Therapy talk.
Yes. Okay, my initial reaction is, no, you're not the asshole, because I would want to know. Like, I would want someone to sit me down and educate me.
Same.
My HR brain is saying, is she good at her job?
Oh.
Like, what if you're bad at your job, Jane?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because what if, one scenario, Jane is good at her job. Jane, like many other people, did not negotiate. That's normal. Maybe we tell Jane in a really light, polite way, like, hey, by the way, I know year end is coming up soon, or I was just thinking about year end. Have you thought about if you're going to ask for a raise? Because I started to ask around, and I feel like, not everyone's paid equally, and we kind of have to negotiate. Like, I might drop it in there, see how she responds, and then say, if I'm going to be totally honest, I did hear this. I just wanted you to know. So I think like that could be a possibility, but there's also the possibility that like, I don't know, maybe she's getting paid less intentionally, but that's also not right.
Yeah, they're both wrong.
I think my final answer is you tell her, oh my God, wait, but Reni, what if I'm panicking. What if this starts office drama?
I know, it could. It definitely could.
And it goes back to like our listener.
Yeah, my thing is like, I would, as you said, I would like to know if I were Jane. Like, even if I'm bad at my job, I want to know that I'm getting paid like significantly under. After 2 to 3 years, I'm making the same that you're making when you just joined. Like,
Yeah,
that's a bit wild. And if there were performance issues, I feel like you should have told me like 2 years ago.
That's also true. Yeah, like I think my fear would be, or like, hey Jane, by the way, you're getting paid a lot less, which is the right thing to do. And then Jane gets really hard on herself, talks to her manager, and then the manager's like, you're underperforming.
Oh, yeah.
But also, like, I think you're right. Like,
yeah.
that should be having a, you know what? I think my final answer is you are not the asshole. I actually think you're doing the right thing. And sometimes the right thing is hard.
Yeah.
And you would just need to be really thoughtful and strategic about how you do it.
Agreed.
You don't want that person's manager. Like, I think what my hesitation is what if that person's manager comes to you and goes, hey, did you tell Jane she's getting paid less? It was because of blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly you're the bad guy. But at the same time, like,
sometimes we have to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what? When I was working at the bank, I literally would I told my coworkers what I was making, and then like they asked for more money, and then
good.
I don't know if I'm sure my managers were not the happiest about that, but like I still felt good about it because I'm like, they were definitely getting underpaid, and they've been there longer than me, right? I just asked for bumps every year. That's why I got paid what I got paid, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it is too, where it's like you kind of just have to instill this mindset of like closed mouths don't get fed.
Yes.
So just pushing people, because like Jane, you should be getting paid more.
You should.
You deserve to be getting paid more
100%.
regardless of the reason. My only hesitation is you don't want this to ever come back on you as being wrong, or like you don't know the full situation. Jane's on a performance plan, blah, blah, blah. Like there's so many things, but I do think if this were me, I wouldn't feel right about not telling Jane.
Yeah, me too. I think I saw this quote once that said that the only person that benefits from hiding your salary is the employer.
Yes.
Like they're the only person that benefits from it. You don't benefit from it. Your coworkers don't benefit because now you guys don't know how much each other makes. So yeah, but it is tricky. I think, again, you said Jane is a little sensitive and like she may be hard on herself. I can be hard on myself. I know, Emily, you can also be hard on yourself. So we get it. But I would rather know than be in the dark.
I think it's how you do it. Like I don't think you straight up say, Jane, you're being underpaid. Yeah. I think it's something a little bit more delicate. Like you beef up a conversation around it and then say, like loosely, I kind of feel like not everyone got brought in at the same salary based on what I've been hearing. Like I would encourage you to reach out and ask. Yeah. And then that probably protects you a little bit. So in the off chance Jane is like, oh my gosh, Emily told me I'm making this amount and she's making this amount, it's not going to come back to you. But I'm a big believer in like talking about money with your team, because we have to look out for each other. Corporations are not going to look out for us
at all. They don't care
like at all. So Jane,
even if you have the best employer, like they're still focused on their bottom line at the end of the day, right?
If I always say, like, if I were to die tomorrow, I'd be replaced by Wednesday.
Facts.
So we can't be loyal to companies. No. But that is a hard one because you want to protect yourself. Yeah. And protect your peers.
But clearly, like, because, some people, if you ask them, because this person went around asking Jane their salary, right? And Jane actually willingly shared. So I feel like at least Jane has some kind of like openness to having these discussions, because some people straight up would not tell you, like, why are you asking about my salary?
That's also true. Also testament to the relationship. Like you must have some level of comfortability with each other. Yeah.
So maybe, just maybe, you can like bridge it in a kind way. Hey, Jane, I just got the job. Thank you so much for sharing what you made. Just so you know, they brought me in at this rate. Maybe, I don't know how to word it. Like,
but I know what you're saying. Like, you can more make it, like, you don't say, oh, you need to go ask for more. But like, I think you said that so well. Like, they brought me in at this rate. It sounds like they kind of bring everyone in at a different level. So, like, if I were you, I would negotiate, because it sounds like that's how you make more here.
Yeah, perfect.
Like, something like that. But, that one, immediately my HR brain was like, oh, my God. Panicking. That was a hard one. But, no, you're not an asshole. You're actually, like, a very brave person for wanting to do that.
Yeah, the overall vote on this one was not the asshole. So everyone said not the asshole.
Amazing. Some
people said you are the asshole. So let's read a few. Someone said you would be the asshole. Salary is not something that I bring up with any of my coworkers unless I'm very close with them. It can definitely rock the boat and cause drama where there does not need to be any. I also think since she's now making the correct salary, to bring it up at this point would be rather pointless. It's not really your business to worry about her salary anyways. I disagree. That's a very selfish mentality.
I do disagree with that. I totally get you wanting to protect yourself. That's like a normal, I get that. The whole it's not my business thing, I don't agree with.
Yeah, it's like we can only, like, women are paid less than men. Like, Jane, I'm assuming, is a woman. So, like, you know, I don't know if they mentioned their gender, but like, I think if we all want to win, we have to bring everybody along with us, right? Like, it's better when we all rise. So that's always my philosophy. Emily and I probably have the same philosophy because we literally share resources for free with people so that they can all win. So yeah, I don't agree with that comment.
No, I don't agree with that. It's one thing to be scared and still do the right thing, but it's another to be like, not my problem.
Yeah.
It is your problem.
Yeah.
Because we are the only people who are going to protect us from capitalism.
Yeah. One more comment that I'll read. Not the asshole. I'm no expert, but it's well documented that women tend to be paid less for doing the same work with the same qualifications as a given man. Honestly, I think you would be doing her a favor. Employees not talking about their salaries is what allows companies to underpay qualified employees. Perfect.
Yeah.
You said it.
Yeah.
This person.
Whoever you are, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it is. I think like it's such a hard thing to process because it is the right thing to tell someone. But even me thinking about doing it, I think I'd be really scared to have that conversation and like hurt her or cause stress. But I think once you get past that, how can you ethically let someone do their job?
Yeah.
Even if they're not getting paid less now, who's to say she's not going to get a raise at the end of the year because she's not going to ask, or like maybe they for whatever reason won't give her one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I retract my statement on even if she's on a performance plan, because even if she is on a performance plan, she will know that and she won't be upset.
Yeah, true.
Or like she would have enough information that she'd be like, you know what, I get it, or I'll talk to them about this.
Very true.
Because if she's blindsided by that too, then that's a whole other issue.
Yeah, very true. Okay.
Ooh, that was a spicy one.
Right. Okay, next one. This is a listener write-in. Hi, Reni. How are you? I started my job 6 months ago. My boss is very impressed with my performance and has increased my responsibility. Is it too early to ask for a pay raise, or would I seem somehow, like, would I seem difficult?
How long has it been?
6 months. But they've had added responsibilities on their plates. This one's tricky, right?
See, I think this one's less tricky than the other.
Okay.
Just because the worst case scenario in the last question is like, oh my God, someone feels miserable, office drama, there's tears. The worst case scenario here is they just say no.
True.
Like, okay. I don't know. I'm a big believer if the worst thing that's going to happen is nothing, just go for it.
A word.
Like, it's okay. I would say just ask.
Yes.
Like, worst case, they say no, but we'll talk about it again in 8 months. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's true. How would you approach that conversation with your manager?
Yeah, I honestly would start off always in person. We always do in person.
Yes.
And I would just be so transparent. Like, I'm really enjoying my role growing. I'm excited to see how this position evolves. As this role continues to grow, how does my title and compensation change with it? And it's not you saying I need a raise tomorrow, because maybe they want to see you in this job for another month or two. That can be fine. But it basically gives them the opportunity to say, oh, the goal is by the end of this year, you move up to a senior manager position and your salary is now this. Great. Now you've got that target in mind. Or they're going to say, oh, that's not on the table. And then now you've realized, I don't work for more, for less, actually. Yeah. But thanks for the offer.
I actually have nothing to add to that. I think you said it. You literally said it perfectly. Yeah. Follow that exact script.
Copy, paste.
Rewind that. Listen to it in 0.5x speed if you need to, and then write it down as Emily was speaking.
We don't work for free. How about that?
Period. Okay, next confession. Are you ready?
These are good. I'm so ready.
Okay, this is from r/career advice on Reddit. Need advice. Stay with current job with 100K salary but no career growth long term, or boomerang to old job with 93K salary and path to climb ladder within 2 years. Hello, I am looking for some guidance on what I should do. I left my old job over a year ago for a better salary, only to find myself in a rather toxic and siloed environment. I don't have a pathway to move up the ladder, or at least in the next 10 years. So no,
that's a lot of years.
I was about to say that's a long time. On a positive note, I have learned a lot, and the company has a fantastic bonus structure. Unfortunately, the environment has taken a toll on my mental and physical health. Recently, my old supervisor called me and asked me if I would like to come back. I will be making more money than I did before I left, but not as much as my current role. I will be given a pathway for managing a team and eventually director role position. The team is great, the manager is fantastic, and I really loved the work and was very good at it. So, is it worth the 7K cut to boomerang back? These are juicy.
These are really hard.
Yeah.
These are really hard. Like, and it's hard to, I'm trying to think of what my most authentic responses are in the moment. And I'm such like a sit down and think about it person. Okay.
That's why I made sure not to show Emily these beforehand.
You can so tell that I've not seen these because every response has been me gripping your chair, like holding on to it. Okay. I think, and I'm so curious to hear your thoughts. You have different things that are important to you at every stage in your life. And like right now, I'm in the money stage. I'd rather be miserable and making money so I can buy a home and start my life. Maybe in 10 years, the mental health piece matters more. So I think you need to ask like, what is weighing on you the most? Is it the finance or is it the wellness? It kind of sounds like it's the wellness based on what you're saying. And your mental health is so much more important than $7,000 in general. If you're coming from a place where like that's where you can comfortably weigh this as an option, I would say err on the side of mental health. But what I would challenge this person to do is like, have you ever heard the phrase "the world is bigger than Tinder and your ex-boyfriend"?
I haven't.
like it's the world is bigger than the guy you meet on the dating app and the guy you went on a date with 10 years ago. Like you don't have to go back to your ex. There is a new person out there.
Yo, I love that.
Like,
that
let's
was a
leave.
great analogy.
Like, let's go. Who's to say you can't get all of those things and more pay? And you probably can.
Yeah, go meet a boy in the wild.
Go meet a boy in the wild. Go to Farm Boy.
Yeah.
Stand by the pomegranates.
Right?
If you can afford pomegranates.
Let's go to Equinox.
Sit in Equinox for 4 hours, okay? And you're going to make eye contact with every man who walks by, and one of them will take you to dinner.
I can't. Okay.
We're launching matchmaking services, by the way.
Loading soon. But yeah, okay. So
what do you think?
I think that 7K is it's not like you're taking a 30 pay cut and it's like extremely significant, but 7K is still like quite a bit of money, right? I also agree with you where the world is literally your oyster, and you've learned a lot at this company. So now you can take those skills that you learned at this company, take them to another company that's not your ex company, right? There's so many companies out there when you just expand your mind, okay? Because like if I know when I was looking to leave my job and like it was my options were like pursue another corporate job or pursue like entrepreneurship and go YouTube full time. And then I got a job from like an offer from a startup. It was like 100K, and that was obviously more than I was making at the bank. And I was just like, whoa, like jobs exist outside of this little like finance bubble. Like I thought I had to stay in financial services for the rest of my life or whatever. So like don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to move on because there's so much out there. And it may feel comfortable to go back to the old job because you already know that you like the team. You already know your manager. That's like comfortable.
Huge. That's a big one, yeah.
But the salary, I don't like going backwards. I'm all about moving forward. If they can match your offer at this company.
Fair.
Yeah. But yeah, they should ask them to match your offer.
You know what? I think you're right. At minimum, ask them to match and literally ask what is the incentive for you to come back then?
Yeah.
There is no incentive for you to come
like
back.
your mental health, I guess. But
yeah, but like to be honest, you can find a company that's going to value your mental health and like give you balance, and you're not going to feel like you work in a silo. Mm-hmm. There's going to be figure out where Jane is working because those people look out for each other.
Right?
You need to connect with Jane.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, so so this was only posted 25 days ago. So
let's see she's fresh.
Right? Okay, so somebody said, this is a comment. Is it a carrot dangled on a stick? How can you be sure? Do you really trust this guy? Otherwise, it's a 7K. You're paying 7K for a learning opportunity. Yeah, very true. The original poster responded and said, "Great point / great question. We've worked together for 7 years, and he's always had my best interest in mind." Yeah, well,
as a person, he might, but like companies take budget hits.
Yeah.
Career paths change. I don't know. I have a hard time banking on what you promise you're going to do for me in 7 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's enough for me.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Like if I've had amazing managers in the past, and if they told me to come back, I would think they know how amazing I am and they would want to match whatever. So they wouldn't want me to take a pay cut to come back to them too. Right?
Also, wouldn't they just say to you, this actually isn't the right move for you?
Like if they truly
really cared.
Yeah, but like Yeah.
Oh, I think
And
you're
as you
right.
said, budget cuts. Like, there's so many
Stuff
factors.
happens.
Like, they may be a great person, but there could be a whole lot of factors that impact
If
it.
they're the CEO, that's the only person you can really trust.
Right?
That person might be gone in 2 months.
Even then, the board of directors can control the CEO. Like,
Find the board of directors. Go to Equinox.
Right?
Find who's on the board.
Okay, one other comment was, is your mental health worth 7K? Is that 7K absolutely necessary to balance your finances? What if the promised promotion doesn't come? That's true, right?
That's also very true.
Right, because like
This is all talk.
exactly, and talk is cheap.
It's very cheap, and life is expensive.
Yeah.
Don't go broke.
Right? I love the plug. I love it. They said you then can either choose, okay, is 7K worth it for my mental health and I don't really need the money anyways, or then you can look for something else again. But it would be a really weird FU to rehire you at a higher pay than original just to block you and then screw you with your professional future. I don't know what they meant by that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think like even, okay, let's say it's like all the best people, they're super ethical, like stuff happens. You might not get that job they promised you, period.
It's risky.
I like what the first commenter said. Like if the promotion doesn't come through, you're ultimately paying $7,000.
Yeah, for a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Which if it's worth it to you, then
Exactly. But the fact that you've submit this question tells me there's something in your gut saying something's not right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true. Okay, next confession.
Yes, I'm ready.
Am I the asshole for saying no to a promotion? I'm newly married and my husband is upset. I'm a software engineer and my husband works in construction management. I grew up broke as hell, so honestly, I feel like I'm loaded right now. I make $120,000 and my husband makes $80,000. I've gone from counting literal pennies because my budget was that tight to not having to worry about buying anything we need. I love it for you.
I really do love that.
So at work, when my boss offered me a program manager position, but said that my salary would be reviewed at the next review cycle, I went and got a drink with the guy who has that job now and the guy who had the job before him. The current guy said he was screwed out of a raise. He took the promotion when it was implied that one was coming, and it never came. And the guy before him he was making less than I am currently in the role and kept getting his requests for raises rejected. That night, I told my husband about my day and how I wasn't sure if I would take the promotion. We talked a bit, and he thought I should just for my resume. The next morning, I asked my boss what the salary for the promotion would be, and he said that it would be up to HR in the next review cycle. I'd heard that it tends to be the absolute minimum they can get away with. I've heard that the promotion tends to be the absolute minimum they can get away with. And honestly, that role on the job market would be valued at 150 to 180K, so I'd be majorly undervalued. I was starting to think I'd have to be a sucker to take that offer. So I told my boss and I was grateful to be considered, but I was not comfortable taking on any role until the terms of employment, including compensation, were more fully defined. He said his hands were tied. HR wouldn't renegotiate until the next quarter. I came home and I told my husband that I declined the promotion. And he was surprisingly mad about it.
Oh my God, what?
He said it was something we should have talked about instead of me just going on my own. And I knew he didn't agree with me. I said I knew my job, the financials weren't looking good, and you can't get water from a stone. Preach. And if I took that, I'd be doubling my workload for nothing. He said I'd have something for my resume that lets me negotiate a higher pay elsewhere since it opened up other management jobs for me. I said that I liked being an individual contributor and I wouldn't enjoy management, so that wasn't something I cared about. He said, "It's all about you, isn't it?" And was upset because we're married now and I was impacting both of our financial futures since I didn't want a hard job, and that it was normal to take on additional responsibilities and then have a salary review. I just didn't know because I'm too young. I'm 27 compared to his 33, and I've never been promoted since I job hopped too much. I said it was an old school way of thinking to slave away for free on the hopes that you'll be rewarded. I tried that at my first 2 jobs, and that's why I quit. All it does is tells them that you're cheap and gullible. He called me naive and said I was too idealistic. So am I the asshole for saying no to a promotion?
How do you feel after reading that?
I'm
in awe.
I'm disgusted by this man.
This man is the asshole.
I think he's jealous.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Because, sir, you can go and get that 150 job. Go and get it. You're making 80K. She's making 120K. If you want your financial future to be secure, you would at least match her pay or exceed it, you know?
And if you're upset that she's making decisions that are selfish and just for her, what do you bring to the table?
And also her mental health is going to be impacted by this. Imagine someone's doubling your workload and paying you the same amount. What's the point?
Oh, yeah. So let's take a step back.
Yeah.
This is not a promotion.
No.
This is not a promotion.
No.
What they're really saying is, here's more work.
Do it.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're giving you, maybe you get a raise. Sounds like history says no, and that does tend to repeat itself. Yeah. I also don't think you need to rush into doing anything for your resume. That's a very, you're right, old school BS way of thinking.
Yeah.
You don't do things for your resume. You do them for learning experiences. You don't really want to do program management. It's fine. You're making amazing money. And this whole like mentality that we need to earn and earn and earn and hustle. Sometimes that's not what we want. Sometimes we're happy where we are, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But do we talk about the husband?
First, I think that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results. And, you keep going because why? I don't know. And that's exactly what's happening here. You've literally seen that the previous 2 people who have been in the role they've not been paid. So for her to take that on would make 0 sense. None. Because she knows she's also going to be the 3rd person to not get paid. What? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fool me 3 times, nah, it's a mess.
It's on you.
We can't be doing this.
No, it would have been different if everyone was like, and I did get a massive pay bump and the work-life balance is great and I'm thriving. Take a risk.
Yeah.
Fine.
No, that's not what they're saying. And she doesn't even want to be a manager.
I'm not over the husband.
Yeah, I'm not
over your man.
Let's go into the husband. So he said, and I quote, "It's all about you, isn't it?" And he was upset because we're married now and I was impacting both of our financial futures because I didn't want a quote unquote hard job. And that it was normal to take on additional responsibilities and then have a salary review because I didn't know much because I'm too young, 27 to his 33. And I've never been promoted since I job hop too much.
There's literally so much to say and none of it's going to be positive.
So much to unpack.
My mouth is going to be so negative.
Please tell us.
I don't even know where to begin. First of all, there's so much. She's too young. Okay, it's a handful of years. She wasn't too young for you to marry her.
And I hope.
So let's start there.
Yeah.
Hard job. If her job's not hard, show me how you code. Let's get you in front of a laptop.
Right.
Guy. Me thinks you don't know JavaScript. So let's not diminish her work. Also, so then another question. You bring less financially. What are you bringing to balancing the home life for her?
That's my question.
You sound like the kind of person, I hate to say it, where you're assuming she's also making you dinner. That's the vibe you're giving. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm getting the same vibe.
The vibe is you want fish and chips at home. Are you frying the fish?
No, absolutely not.
What do you think about him?
He's nagging about the fish not being cooked yet. That's what he's doing. That's the vibe he's giving me. Yeah, but I agree. You can't say that you are impacting our financial futures if you're not even contributing equally to me. Like, and I'm not just saying this because you're the man and, if you are a woman, like it's not because the woman is making more than you. It's literally because you are not contributing equally and you're complaining that somebody doesn't want more money. You should want more money for yourself. Meet me, and then sure, we can have conversations about our next steps, but I think you should focus on yourself. That's what you should do.
Also, how dare you tell her she doesn't want a hard job, implying her job is easy when it's out earning yours.
Right?
She's making more money than you. It sounds like you hate women.
And we know those ones, especially on TikTok.
Cheers. We see our comments.
Yeah.
A lot of you do.
They don't like us. They don't like women at all. Yeah.
Wow, I want better for her.
I do too.
She made the right decision. She's honoring her career, what she wants, and her mental health.
Yeah.
That's a legend.
Period.
Your man is wrong.
Yeah, extremely wrong.
Are there reactions to this one?
Yes, there
thank
are.
God.
So overall, the vote was not the asshole.
Amazing.
First comment. Holy shit.
Literally us a second ago.
We're like, what?
I'm like, what did you just say to me?
I'm shaking in my boots. Okay. Not the asshole. I'm a software engineer and I would completely hate to be a PM. It's much more work, but also it's a completely different role. I wouldn't call it a promotion. It's a different job, just as Emily said. Yeah.
Very fair.
Your husband could switch careers and make more than 80K if your quite high combined income isn't enough. The only difference is that you were directly offered this position rather than seeking it out. It's a nice cherry on top that it's a shitty offer. Okay. And then someone replied to that, said, likely the reason they want to promote her is because it's a non-internal hire, which would cost basically it would cost 150 to 180 if they went externally.
She's a cheap hire.
Yeah, cheap hire essentially. Another person, not the asshole. His reaction is bizarre. You absolutely should not be taking on more responsibility without adequate compensation. Honestly, this is kind of a weird way of doing it. I don't think it's even legal in my country. You are right to discuss it with your husband, but ultimately it's 100% your decision. Not the asshole, but it was nice of your husband to mansplain how careers work. I'd say, okay, this I'd say not the asshole. It honestly does sound like the promotion would leave you with a lot more work and less reward. You are married, so yeah, you could have discussed it, but in the end, it is your job. You need to do the work every single day. You know what accepting would mean, and he doesn't. Accepting a job just for a resume isn't really a good argument after all.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Did anyone agree with him?
I'm searching for someone.
There's no way, right?
But no, I think every single person is on our side.
How could they not be?
Yeah, that man, unhinged.
Seek help.
Yes.
You know where that man lives? Toronto.
100%.
Feel it in my bones.
Toronto man.
That guy lives at King and Bay.
Finance bro.
That's a finance bro.
Yes. Okay. Next Coinfession. Ooh, this title is.
Should I be nervous again?
Yes, you should.
Stop.
This one is making me
uncomfortable. We should have poured wine.
I know. We need a glass of wine for this one. Okay. Am I the asshole for not acting impressed by my wife's accomplishments?
You know what? I'm going to refrain from judgment.
My 28 male wife, 26 female, and I have been married for close to 7 years. Okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking they got married when they were like babies, 21 and 20.
Oh, my God.
And 19. And yeah, anyways, okay. We currently have 5 kids together. 6 male, 4 male, and 3 female. And my wife gave birth.
What? Oh my God. Reni, I thought you were listing the volume of each child. I thought you were listing 6 men, 4 men. I thought you were describing a small army.
No. Imagine.
The light just got sucked from my face.
Yeah,
I was like, they said how many
like,
kids?
Well, at 26? Yeah, no. Okay,
let me get myself together.
Yes.
Excuse me.
We currently have 5 kids. Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I see it's the ages now, but mentally I was like, oh my God, he has 10 children already?
He was doing a lot. They were busy. But that's a lot still. 5 kids.
That's a lot of kids. For how many? 7 years of marriage?
7 years, and she's 26.
She is.
She's our age. Anyways.
It's in no judgment zone.
Yes, zero judgment here. Okay.
We'll judge soon, but not yet.
We currently have 5 kids together. 6 male, 4 male, 3 female. And my wife gave birth to fraternal twins, a son and daughter, a year and a half ago. Oh my gosh.
God bless.
My wife intended to graduate high school the year we got married, but life got in the way. My dad had given me an investor relations type of role at his company, so we were traveling a lot, and then after that, our kids needed our attention. After our twins were born, my wife was bedridden for longer than we and even the doctor expected. Since we had to hire extra hands to do the childcare tasks that involved mobility, my wife had some extra time on her hands. Her mother told her that her friend who proctors at a testing center said that they give GED tests basically every week, at least across the state of Idaho, and that she should dust off her general education knowledge. She started browsing her laptop and decided to enroll in a GED prep class online. It seems like she was better at self-paced learning than classroom learning because the stuff that they were testing her on came way easier to her now than it did even though she'd been away from structured classroom instruction for many years now. Even after she was back on her feet, she'd be studying for it after she dropped the older 2 off at their respective schools. I would see what she was studying, and it looked pretty rudimentary. And I knew that getting a GED basically means nothing. And that she probably wouldn't be able to apply it to anything career-wise or commit full-time to community college, where I doubt the job prospects for students are that great right now either. So my wife ended up taking the test, and the other day she bounded into the room and said, "Yes, I passed. I knew she would since she was doing pretty well on the GED test and the practice test, and I did not gripe at her, but merely nodded at her and went back to answering an important email from a client. My wife seemed to get upset, and I asked her what was wrong. She said I didn't seem that excited and said that it's great that it's great that she passed, but I had been telling her that it was easy and no big deal. But if she needed something to prove to herself, she knew the high school I'm upset. Okay. But if she needed something to prove to herself that she knew the high school concepts, I guess the money was well spent. She got even more upset and said she worked very hard and this was the essential building blocks to being able to start a career. So, am I the asshole? My wife passed her GED test, but she wasn't exactly graduating from college and wouldn't be for at least 15 years. I just didn't see any immediate applicability to her test, but I'm glad she has something to challenge her while she was coming off from being unable to fully care for the kids. So, am I the asshole for not acting impressed by my wife's accomplishment?
You put it in
You put it in
quotations.
quotations.
I mean, obviously
Obviously,
he's the worst.
I don't know. The fact that you asked this question is confusing to me.
Do you hate women? Oh, I'm actually just processing. I don't even know where to begin. Is it the fact that this man's acting high and mighty? You admitted daddy gave you a job. Daddy paved your career. First of all, congratulations to this mother and queen for going back and getting her GED. That takes dedication and work, and with children, we love that for you. We're genuinely so happy for you. The whole rhetoric that you can't get a career with a high school education, false. We live in a digital age. The fact that you did that is setting you up for success long term. You will have a career. What you also have is a man who fundamentally believes he brings more to the table and is more intelligent than you.
Yeah. And
it's a high and mighty complex.
It is. And I was about to say, because I did an episode on financial abuse last year.
That was a really good episode.
Thank
it was
you.
a two-parter,
yeah,
right? Yeah, it was a big one.
Thank you. Yeah. And it was like, I feel like I'm getting the vibes from this guy that like, he's like, oh, she's becoming more like educated. Now she has she could now go and get a job, and that would like, to me, it seems like he's the type who wants a wife who is completely dependent on him. And also her whole job is to breed kids, like I'm like, oh, you're just here to raise the kids and that's your whole life. Like give birth, raise kids. And I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good at all. Even if you didn't think that GD is an amazing accomplishment, like I think it's still something to celebrate. Like that's so impressive of her. And especially after 7 years of, I don't know if I remember things I learned in grade 12.
Oh,
okay?
Please. I know I didn't. That's such a brilliant thought too, is that this also comes down to like his desire to control what she does and doesn't do. And like he gets to decide what is and isn't significant. He's like, I see no applicability immediately.
Yeah. Like what?
What? And then also
Did you hear? He said 15 years. That means he wants her to raise all the kids until they're of age, right? And then, okay, yeah, go get your job.
But even the way he speaks about her educating or like choosing to like do self-directed learning, like, well, I guess if it makes her feel good, that's great. So condescending. It is a big deal. And also when you have a partner that you love and that you see as an equal, everything that's important to them is important to you.
Facts.
So like, I think you hit the nail on the head when you were like, this is a control thing.
Yeah, it's giving control. It's giving potentially leading to abuse.
It's giving those children and run.
Run, yeah. I know, but that's easier said than done. 5 kids, a lot.
It's a lot of children. Yeah. And who knows, maybe this is like we want to assume the best. Maybe this is a down day buddies having. Like it's so deep in the crust of the earth.
Yeah. Yeah, let's assume that. But yeah, it's not looking too hot right here.
He's the asshole. In
100%.
short, you're an asshole.
It's not even a question.
No. Like I can't imagine speaking about someone I care about like that.
No.
Generally.
And I think a lot of women, majority of people who listen to this are women. And I feel like we have to be like a little careful, especially when you're being like, you're getting more successful. Some of the men who will come into your life, they can be jealous of you. And normally we associate jealousy as like a trait that other women have towards each other. But no, the most jealous person in your life could be a man. And it's very scary when it's your man who's the jealous person. Like I don't want to put
we could.
I don't want to go there, but yeah, it's being with a partner who is not oh wow, that slipped out. A partner who is not supportive, a partner who's not supportive of you is detrimental to your success long term. And there's no reason why the person who claims to love you, who you're gonna share a bed with, share a family with, share life, go through life with, should be the person who's bringing you down. The world will bring you down. You don't need the person you're you're sleeping with this person.
It is insane. But I also think what's so scary too is like, it's always the people who say, oh, I want, you to be the mother of my children. That's the most noble job. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. But when it comes to her feeling good about herself, like this was obviously so important to her.
Yeah.
And suddenly it means nothing to you.
Like if you actually cared about the mother of your children, anything that benefits her benefits you. You know? The better your wife is, the better you are. The more successful, the more happy, the more loved she feels, the more supported she feels, the better your kids are going to be raised, the better your marriage will be because she's happy. Like, I just think it's giving red flags.
It is.
Around.
And jealousy, like you said, in men usually comes in the form of aggression.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And
so,
it's like, it's subtle too, It's like little jabs like this comment, like, oh yeah.
It's good for you.
Oh yeah. If you wanted to take it, if it makes you feel good, then do it. Like,
it's so, because like, I feel like when people try to package jealousy as like a women's thing, and it's an everybody thing, everyone experiences jealousy.
Yes.
But when men get jealous,
scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Because suddenly it's not just like a war on whatever the subject is. It's a war on his big, strong masculinity.
Yes. Yeah. People always tell me that like I'm the first person to say I do not like jealous men. People who are like, oh yeah, like he doesn't want me to talk to like, I literally, I run. I'm scared. First sign of jealousy, I'm running. And people think, oh, like, that's oh, it's okay for men to be jealous. Like, yeah, it starts with that little, like, oh, like, and then it just snowballs into something else, which I don't want to experience. So it's a no for me.
I'll be out before the snow falls.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't want any part of it. No. But also, like, I get you are in so deep with this man. Like, you are in deep. True. This is your person.
Yeah.
You got married when you were 21. Like, it sounds like you were dating this person throughout high school. Like, I know that's emotionally deep, and maybe the answer isn't like pack the bags and run, but you do need to speak to people in your life about this, because this is not a man who has your best interests at heart.
Yeah. And when you do speak to people, you may realize, like, a lot of times we're in our own little bubble, right? And then we don't realize that, like, oh, wow, this is not normal. Like, the things that, like, oh, your husband's actually supportive of you. I've never experienced that, like, so I think having those conversations is really important, because it just opens your mind to seeing like, oh, wow. And if anyone is listening and maybe you face a situation like that, or someone who you think their husband or a partner is not supportive of them, maybe you can share this episode with them and then they can hear it. Because I find like when they hear someone else in the same situation, they can then relate it to themselves and they're like, oh, wow. Like that financial abuse episode, the amount of people who messaged me who are like, oh my gosh, I've been going through that. Like, and I never noticed until I listened to somebody else. And I'm like, my husband's doing that to me, or my partner's doing that to me, or my girlfriend's doing it to me. Like, it's deep. It's very deep.
It's so important. Cause like you said, we can cloud what we think with our own emotion. Yeah. But I'm sure if you were to tell me a story or vice versa, we'd be like, listen to yourself. Like, something's not right. How can I help you? But with ourselves, we're like, oh no, it's fine. This is just how it is.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to read a few comments. Okay.
The comments better be supportive. Yeah. If we don't have ride or dies in the comments, we're going to keep scrolling.
Yeah. Every quote that I'm seeing is you're the asshole. Okay. So you're the asshole. You're a major asshole. Your wife is trying to look after her 5 children and found the time to get her GED. Why don't you let her go out of town for a week and see how hard it is to look after 5 small children? Would it have killed you to get up, hug her, and tell her how proud you are of her? Maybe take her out to dinner one night to celebrate. Wow, I hope this isn't indicative of the respect that you give her the rest of the time. Yeah, like
facts.
Very simply put.
It's perfect, but at the same time, if you have to ask someone to feel excited for you, they don't feel excited for you.
Oh my gosh, I've been there, guys.
Oh, same. I've been begging.
I've been there.
Love me. And I look back, I'm like, ugh.
I know. I literally want to yak thinking back.
Oh my God.
Like,
I think we're in the same boat where you look back and you're like, this was not.
It's horrifying to think that we tolerated nonsense. Yeah.
Imagine. Yeah. I think as you get older, you start to realize someone not choosing you, like friends, family, work, anything.
Anybody,
it's not hurtful. It's just icky. It's yucky.
Yeah. And it's not a representation of you. It's just that person's not your person.
And everyone can't be your person.
And they should not.
In fact, I would argue there should actually only be one. Yeah. Maybe 2.
Maybe a few. Yeah. Just
maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's it.
Hoard them if you'd like.
Yeah.
But like,
you
need to want more. But I was the same boat. I remember when I was younger, when I would like be fighting with exes, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and it's
Tell me I'm the one.
like, why are we fighting for love? It's not a vibe. It's not a vibe at all.
It shouldn't be this hard.
Yeah.
And the fact, I think the second you have to put your relationship on Reddit, baby,
I know, right?
it's done.
I know. And now that I've been with somebody who's like extremely supportive, I'm just like, what was I doing before? Like, I'm sure you've experienced the same. You're like, wow, things can be different.
You don't have to mother every man you meet.
Oh my God. Yo, we could go.
This Mother's Day, I literally was like, do I send out a note? Hey, fellas, I've identified you as one of my sons.
Oh my God.
I expect flowers. If I have to date date another man I eventually become like his mother figure for, I will.
No. I reject that for you. That will not be.
I rebuke it.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I will end up writing it to you.
On Reddit.
I'm gonna be like, Reni?
Yes. Okay. One last one. You're not the asshole. I've been telling her that it was easy to do. He's quoting. I've been telling her that it was easy to do and no big deal. But if she needed something to prove to herself, she knew the high school concepts. I guess the money was well spent. You are the asshole. She was excited about something she did, and you said it was easy and no big deal. It doesn't matter whether you think it was easy or important. She is proud of it. Try being supportive instead of taking her down. Also, for God's sake, she sacrificed a ton for the family. It sounds like she put her personal goals on hold and took a serious blow to her health for the sake of you guys having your children. Does she want to give up on a career? Why did you two choose to have babies right away instead of letting her finish college? Now she is taking the first steps to start pursuing what she wants to do for herself, and you demean her. Your life got in the way. She didn't need to, and then he keeps going on and on and on, quoting like a bunch of stuff. I want that man
on the podcast.
Right? I love it. Yeah,
it breaks my heart.
But I also think this is a lesson. A lot of young women follow me. I always say 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I was stupid, okay? I don't think I knew anything, right? So maybe don't date and make extremely large life decisions like having kids at that age.
Mark my words, if I married the man I dated at 21, I would be miserable.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll look you in the eyes as I say that, sir, if you're watching. You'd be miserable because you grow and you don't know what you want. And like, to your point, you don't see how other people live. And the more you live and see what a healthy relationship can look like, you realize you can want more for yourself.
And I also think like just dating makes you, like, I'm a big proponent of multi-dating. Like you're not in a relationship, be dating as many people as you.
Oh, I'm the same.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of multi-dating. And I think that like it just helps you get to know yourself, what you like, what kind of scary men are out there. Like you can identify, this is not the type of guy that I want. And it's easy to compare and contrast when you're dating multiple people at the same time. It's like, oh, this person makes me feel really good. This person, not so much.
And then it gives you like the space to not get so attached that you're not observing. Because I find when I would date one person, I'd be so into them that I actually don't see some of the red flags as much. Yeah. But when I'm dating a few, you're not quite as invested in each of them. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, wait a second. You made a comment the other day that maybe I would have let slide, but like it was a weird passing comment about how you don't think a GED is like a real thing. Like there's so many little things you might have passed up on. Yeah, I think date as many people as possible. Yeah. Always. Period. Like, I'm obviously, that doesn't mean sleep with all of them for everyone listening. I would actually argue health-wise don't.
Yeah, do not.
I would actually say, Reni told me everyone. Public service announcement.
Please do not.
You're dating 5, you can only sleep with 1.
No, even then. Maybe you sleep with none. Okay.
None.
Yeah.
Sleep with yourself. Sleep with Christ. Yes. Okay? Where's God in your life? Please.
Yeah, please. We're not saying, I'm not saying go sleep with all of them. Okay.
They don't deserve that.
No, they do not.
You are the prize. Unless, granted, this is not coming from like a weird Andrew Tate vibe thing. If that's what you want to do, slay, do it.
Yeah, be you.
But don't feel like you owe them this.
No, you do not.
You don't owe them anything. If anything, make them all audition to determine if they're worth being in your life.
Yes, period. Okay, we're going to do one last one because this episode's getting a little long. But I have so many more, but I feel like, we want to wrap this up with a good one. Okay.
A banger.
Let's see. I haven't read this, but let's see. Okay, last confession. First time negotiating salary, crying and shaking. This one's from r/SLP. Hello, I have always heard that your first CF salary can heavily affect how future employers pay you. I have an opportunity for a $65,000 salary. Is this the case where I should negotiate for higher, or is it okay to take this price? I'm trying to think about if it makes me look bad and greedy, but I also don't want to be lowballed in future opportunities.
I mean, you already know what I'm going to say.
Yes, I do.
It's not greedy to ask to be paid what you are worth. Mm-hmm. Also, why do you have emotions and guilt towards a mega corporation that will out-earn you every day
of your life
for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Let's stop feeling bad for employers. Look, do you feel bad for Elon Musk? I don't.
I do not.
I actually don't feel a lot for that man. So I think the guilt, give yourself permission to treat yourself as a product and service. Because that's what it is. You are providing a service to the company, and your service is whatever you do for work. Stop giving companies so much power. Like, they don't deserve this power. Who cares? Even if it didn't impact every job that you get for the rest of your life, which it will, like, you're right. Why would you accept a job that's not valuing you? Would you accept a friend that's only there for you 50% of the time? Probably no.
Probably not.
It's a big ask for money from me.
Yeah. I have a video and I'm literally shouting like the first 5 seconds. I'm like, do not accept the first offer. Do not accept. I literally repeated it over and over. So, you already know my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you said, these are mega corporations and they got the money to pay you. Okay. So always negotiate your first salary. The worst they can say is no. And as Emily said earlier, if the worst answer they can say is no, you always have to ask.
Literally nothing's going to change.
Nothing is
going to change. The worst case scenario is they say this is the best offer and you say that's fine, thanks.
Yeah.
And then And then what if you find out, going back to that first question, you were the person being underpaid on the team?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that.
Yeah. Shoot your shot. Always shoot your shot.
Always shoot your shot.
Yeah. Okay. The comments say always negotiate. I like to start off by saying, is a salary negotiable? And just pause after you ask. However they respond, you can say, thank you. I need some time to think about it. You don't have to have a specific number in mind to ask for in that moment. Just open the conversation. You might be surprised at what happens. Next person, always, always, always negotiate. If they offer you $200,000, just sign the papers, but otherwise always negotiate. Even if they offer $200,000, still ask for a bit more.
Always.
Like
the worst case scenario is nothing changes.
Yeah, yeah. I think that we're all aligned in this. Every single person in this audience is in this comment section saying
it's so much easier said than done.
Yeah.
But once you get in that mind space, it's hard to get back to the old one.
I could never not negotiate my salary.
Oh my God, are you kidding? The thought of it is, when I have candidates who don't negotiate, I will literally be like, now is when you ask. Ask.
Yeah.
Like, you have to trust that you are not going to upset people, because you won't.
Yeah. It's your right, okay? Ask.
It is.
Just ask. And Emily has some videos about how to format your negotiations, so definitely check out Emily's page. Well, how did you feel about this episode?
That was out of body.
Right?
Those were really, really good.
Right? Shout out to Chanel, my assistant. She did a really good job of picking really good.
Those were perfect. They were all okay. A lot of them were clear cut.
Yeah.
And this episode could even be titled "Men Don't Want You to Make Money." That made me reevaluate my life a little bit.
I know, it's a bit scary, but
me too. I was like, okay, the first one I was like, okay, that was hard, but like, no, we talked through it. The next couple, I'm like, okay, yeah, the men,
yeah, scary. I know, but there are amazing men out there. We just, our men are going to be amazing. When we find them, they're going to be amazing.
Are you watching? Sure. No, you know what? I would say most people are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely believe most people are good.
Yeah.
But then you hear some of these stories and it's like, damn.
But of course, only the horrible stories get put on Reddit. Like the amazing stories, probably not. You're not going to complain about your amazing boyfriend on Reddit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
But it was an eye-opening one.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
It was good.
It was, yes.
It was a little spicy.
Yeah. Emily, thank you so much for being
you.
here. If someone wants to find you, where would they find you?
I'm at Emily.therecruiter on Instagram and on TikTok. You can listen to my podcast, The Straight Shooter Recruiter Pod, on all platforms. And I'm on YouTube at Emily Durham.
Yes, I will leave all those links below. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to share this on your Instagram story. Make sure to respond on Twitter, telling us your takes on each of these, because we love to hear. If you disagreed with us on any of these, I would love to hear your opinions, okay?
Like, let's talk.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
We want to hear it.
Yeah.
And we'll clap back. So let's talk in the let's talk. We're ready to tussle, okay? Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Also go on the Instagram page where we will make sure I'll post a video of each question on there and you can give your take in detail there. People post paragraphs responding.
I love that though, because then you can see other people's.
Yeah.
Because even as you like talk through it, my mind changed as I talked through things. I was like, wait, no, or this guy's good. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Please do it, because I want in.
And I usually just post like the question rather than our responses, so
like
that they can't get like bias from ours. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, Emily, I'll keep you posted in the comments.
I'm in. I'm so in.
Thank you all for watching or listening. I appreciate you, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something that will help you not go broke. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, please remember to leave a review. And don't hoard this knowledge. Share it with a friend that you think may find this valuable. This episode was produced by Omilia Visuals with music by Wonder Girl.